So here are some specialized human cells. We're going to go over just a couple, and these will be in your handouts that you can have a talk about. First of all, red blood cells. Their whole job is to deliver oxygen to your tissues so that you can actually breathe. To do that, they've got to get oxygen out of their cells quite easily, and when they get to your lungs, they've got to get oxygen into their cells so they can store it. So essentially, the big thing about these guys is that they just have a very big surface area so that they can actually easily get oxygen in and out of their cells, okay? They don't even have a nucleus because their whole job is to simply store and move stuff and deliver. And they actually have a very short lifespan because of that. Now this is a phagocyte, specifically a neutrophil. Now his whole job is to eat bad guys. So he has to have the ability to wrap around bad guys like you see here. So he wraps around them and takes them inside his cell, and he has a huge stomach formed from a lysosome, which is an organelle that has digestive enzymes in it. And he pops them into that stomach and essentially eats them. So in order to engulf them, he has a very big surface area, and in order to eat stuff, he has that lysosome there. Now this here is an intestinal epithelial cell. Sounds funny, but his whole job is to absorb your food and get it into your blood, into your circulatory system. So I'm hoping you can see where my cursor is in here, but the white area in this picture here is actually your stomach, where you have your digestive food. And the little line of red that you see going around the inside of this area here is actually the capillaries that are there to take the food away to the rest of your body. And in between those two areas sits your epithelial cells. So the area here with all of the projections that come out like that, that's the area that actually is touching your food. And their job is to absorb as much food across them and get it through the cell to the other side and pop it into your blood, into the circulatory system, so the food can go to the rest of your body. So they have one side that has lots and lots of microvilli. That increases the surface area so it can absorb food really quickly. Of course, this is a job that takes an awful lot of work, because then they have to package that food and send it all the way across to the other side and put it into your bloodstream. So they have lots and lots of mitochondria because of that as well. And of course they have a nucleus to help them tell them what to do. And because they have to package stuff and sort it and send it through to the other side, they also have a lot of Golgi apparatus so that they can actually package stuff and tell it where to go properly. So that's an epithelial cell. The last one I'm going to show you is a muscle cell. This whole thing here is part of a muscle cell. Not all these little individual ones. This whole thing is part of a muscle cell. It's really, really long. And its whole job is to continually either get longer or shorter by pulling and contracting these fibers that it has within it. Because this takes an awful lot of energy, these guys have thousands of mitochondria. That's that little yellow stuff that you can see there. Thousands of them per cell, because it takes a lot of energy to continually contract and expand and contract and expand. So the big thing you need to remember about skeletal muscle cells is that they're long because of the fibers that they have in them, and they have lots and lots of mitochondria so they can power all of the movement that they do. And the last one that I'm going to go over, because it's definitely on your handout, is a sperm. So his whole job, like the pollen grain, is to deliver genetic material, and he has to actually move about. So his whole job is to hold the genetic material, which he has in the head of the sperm up there, and move. So he has a tail like this. So because of that, his entire job is directed towards that. So he has this lovely long flagella, which allows him to move. It takes an awful lot of energy to do this, so they have an awful lot of mitochondria hidden in there. And they also have a very protected nucleus with genetic material in there that they can take to get to the egg. So essentially that's what a sperm does and how he's shaped in order to help him do his job. And that's the last one we're going to worry about right now. So you guys need to go and get onto your handout and look at how you then deconstruct some of the pictures that I've given you on cells and their shapes and their organelles and how it relates to their job.